Bottom line.
What happens with exposures? You make yourself vulnerable to all kinds of attacks, seen and unseen. What happened to my friend when he passed away?
Oh, some toes definitely curl. But seriously, how are we just now finding out that Uncle Ron passed away? How did this stay out of the media? And how the hell isn't this all over TikTok? Jay-Z and Puffy wanted Biggie killed. Bottom line, when you start exposing the truth, you make yourself vulnerable to all kinds of attacks, both seen and unseen. What happened to
Beyonce and Jay-Z will do anything to destroy anyone who speaks out against them. Okay, I get the threats, but you have to remember one thing. I know your deepest secrets. I know so much about you and what you've done. I know so much on how you got where you are, how you stepped on many people. Beyonce, how you guys ended Carrie Hilson's career because she said something about you. That's how hateful you guys are, how you step on anybody to stay on the top. So remember, your relationship was a business relationship, financial, to get to the top, to become billionaires.
I know your deepest secrets. I know how you got where you are. I know how many people you stepped on to get to the top. Beyonce, I know how you ended Carrie Hilson's career because she said one thing about you. That's how hateful you are, crushing anyone in your path just to stay at the top. Your relationship? It was a financial move, a business relationship to become billionaires. On December 13th, 2024, Uncle Ron, former bodyguard to both Jay-Z and Diddy.
There's no love there. See, what's done in the dark will definitely come in the light. Keep your threats up. I'm here today, and what I got to say, I'm gonna say it. So don't make eye.
Following 24 hours later, he was dead. No love in that industry. But what's done in the dark always comes to light. Keep your threats coming. I'm still here, and I'm going to speak.
Don't try to scare me.
I ain't Biggie. I ain't Beyonce. I ain't Freeway. You used those people, got what you wanted, and
I start talking about Jay-Z and Beyonce. Oh, some toes will curl for sure. But hey, the truth is the truth, whether you believe it or not. Yeah, I'm under investigation. So that's why I'm telling what I'm telling. Because now they have proof. I have physically showed them proof. Things that I have witnessed, things that was told to me. And yeah, of course, it's coming out. Jay-Z and Puffy wanted Biggie. Bottom line. You don't have to believe me. Believe the facts. Here's a man that wanted to leave Bad Boy. He wanted to do his own thing. He mentioned several times how he was tired of being used and abused. That he was bigger than Bad Boy itself. How I know I was there. Another thing, Jay-Z wanted him out of the industry, period, so he could take over and be the biggest hip-hop artist around. But there's stories that have to be told. The truth needs to come out. A man lost his life.
Jay-Z and Puffy wanted Biggie killed. You don't have to believe me, believe the facts. Biggie wanted to leave Bad Boy. He was tired of being used. He said so multiple times. He felt he was bigger than Bad Boy itself. And someone we won't name.
Ron, Beyonce's ex-bodyguard, who threatened to expose them. Yeah, threatened to expose them, I believe, in 2023. Is deceased. He's passed away.
Allegedly, that's what they are saying.
Allegedly, that is what they are saying. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, they said he died from that pneumonia.
Yes.
You know, just like Kim, just like Brittany Murphy. That pneumonia ain't no joke. Hey, every time somebody get to telling the truth about someone, whoever's been lying, they just say a little prayer and then the pneumonia come, and then it's a lot of people been getting that pneumonia.
97% of people would agree. Biggie had no business being in LA at the time. Why would Puff rent studio time for him in LA right after Pac got killed? He had Daddy's House Studios. Why not keep Big safe? Big couldn't even walk properly. He was being pushed around in a wheelchair. Why fly him to LA? Let's stop pretending. Let's stop doing these fake interviews. People still aren't getting it. 6. Here's more. Diddy's former bodyguard, Gene Deal, spoke directly.
Jay-Z and Puffy wanted Biggie killed. Bottom line. You don't have to believe me. Believe the facts. Here's a man that wanted to leave Bad Boy. He wanted to do his own thing. He mentioned several times how he was tired of being used and abused. That he was bigger than Bad Boy itself. Somebody, and we ain't gonna call no more names, dangled a bogus contract in front of his face so he wouldn't leave the company. How I know I was there. Another thing, Jay-Z wanted him out of the industry, period, so he could take over and be the biggest hip-hop artist around. And I wonder who's the biggest hip-hop artist today.
Now, according to this website, Bristol Film Festival, it looks like Ron Smith also alleged that Diddy had approached him in 1997 to carry out the death of Biggie. So not only to be his bodyguard, but to go and commit the crime on his own time.
He said back in March 1st, 1997, Diddy approached him and offered him $30,000 to put a hit on Biggie. All of this is alleged. He said the reason was because Diddy allegedly wanted the rights to Biggie's catalog. He also says that Biggie had plans of leaving Bad Boy. He goes on to say that Diddy is evil and that him and his mother have treated all of Diddy's employees like they were scum of the earth. And then he ends that video saying he has so much more to talk about when it comes to Diddy. According to Uncle Ron, Biggie wanted to leave Bad Boy because he was tired of being used and abused. And then he said somebody, but we're not going to say any more names, dangled a fake contract in front of Biggie so that he wouldn't leave. He said, I know this because I was there. He said Jay-Z wanted Biggie out of the industry, period. According to Uncle Ron, Jay-Z wanted to be the biggest hip-hop artist in the industry, and he said, look at him today. In his own words, he said, it's all business. These two billionaires have done what they seeded to do.
Gene Deal has said that on the day of the shooting, Diddy was acting super weird, and it was clear that something was up. He planned Biggie's death every step of the way, and now even Gene Deal is receiving threats for speaking out.
97% of those people would say he had no business in LA at that time. We all knew that. Why would Puff rent studio time? Come on, man, look. You gotta look at what people do, man. You know Pac just got killed. It ain't no kind of business Big was doing. Big couldn't even walk. He couldn't run. They was pushing him around in a wheelchair, brother. Why the hell would you rent studio time at LA for him to finish your album when in fact you got your own studio, Daddy's House? Let's keep it a buck. Let's stop this bullshit, man. Let's stop doing these interviews, man, about this shit. Because people ain't getting it. He did not want the beef with the Crips. Puff ain't want the beef with the Dog Pound, Snoop them or whatever. Big started that beef.
Biggie's own mom called Gene Deal and thanked him for exposing Diddy. Diddy was the one who ordered the hit on Tupac too.
Gene, here go Miss Wallace.
Hey, Miss Wallace, Gene Deal.
Here's more. Diddy's former bodyguard, Gene Deal, spoke directly to Biggie's mother, Miss Wallace. Miss Wallace, he said, I'm sorry I had to do what I did, but you never told me to stop, so I kept going. He told her, if we don't do something...
What happens with exposures? You make yourself vulnerable to all kinds of attacks, seen and unseen. What happened to my friend? When he passed away, there was $250,000 on my head and $150,000 on his. But what if I had decided to go back with my head held low and said, Sean, I'm willing to play the game, and then found a way to get inside of him and move him around?
Oh wait, maybe I said that shit about boyfriend because he got Tupac killed.
Well, I seen that Diddy tried to silence you or tried to get you to stop talking about him.
This is relayed to me by Kirk Burrows. This guy is like this with Diddy. You seen him on Drink Champs with him. You see him walking the streets in Miami with him, the whole 9 yards. So I'm saying to him, what does he want to talk to me for? He ain't got nothing to say to me. He said, yo, Gene, he said enough is enough. You know what I'm saying? Enough is enough to what? And I told Kirk Burrows, I said, yo, if he want to, I said, he don't want to talk to me for himself. He wanted to talk to me for Diddy. And I ain't got nothing to say to him. He ain't said enough is enough to Wolf's mother when he cursed out and told her all kinds of shit. Did he say enough is enough to Big's mother? What do you mean enough is enough? And that's how that conversation went.
How did you feel about it after you were done?
I felt that, like, because they must have got at Kirk Burrows, because Kirk called me with the bullshit. Yo, you got to fix that. You know this. Man, God, excuse me. Listen here, bro. I don't care nothing about none of these industry cats and what they do and how they do it. That's their business. You understand? I don't tell a man how to screw his wife and how to spend his money. You don't tell me what I got to do with my time. Point blank.
Do you feel like at some point Diddy could try to come after you or do something, you know, being that he's went after a lot of people, he's did a lot of stuff.
From his TikTok on September 13th. But by October 23rd, the blogs were only just picking it up. Why? All his videos now say creator limited comments. The family says it's to avoid questions and...
An update now on Dwayne Keefe D. Davis. He's charged in the murder of Tupac Shakur. Davis was in court again this morning after a fight with another inmate. Fox 5's Mike Allen walks us through what happened.
Dwayne Davis is answering for a jailhouse brawl. Here's what court records show, along with images from surveillance video released by Las Vegas Justice Court. On December 23rd, Davis was being escorted back into his cell when another inmate, Rockland Hamilton, who's also facing a murder charge, is standing to the right by a sink in this room. Hamilton walked over to Davis and squared up, looking ready to fight. They started throwing punches and grappling, and the officer escorting Davis called for backup, gave verbal commands too for the inmates to stop fighting, and then hit them with pepper spray. Before backup officers arrived, the two inmates kept grappling and throwing punches and were eventually separated after backup officers got into the room. Both Davis and Hamilton face battery by prisoner charges.
And my whole thing about it is that Puff wasn't right what he did to people around us, man. He wasn't right what he did to people around us. Him being hard-headed, not listening, and not telling the truth and constantly lying cost a lot of people their lives, man. It cost a lot of people their lives. I want him to understand. When I told him, if we don't do something to these doors, people gonna die tonight. And forget, and I want to say F what other people say. Everybody know I told him that. Our whole crew know I told him that. From Slick to Nord, Bunny, Big Boy, Eddie, all the people that was with us that night know I told them that. 9 people end up dead.
Uncle, rest in peace, Uncle Ron. You were a legend. Now, Cassie, yes, that Cassie, is allegedly going to testify against Diddy using her real name, not Jane Doe. She's not hiding. That leaked hotel video of him assaulting her? That was the tipping.
Yo, how are we just now finding out that Uncle Ron passed away? How did this stay out of the media? And how the hell hasn't this been plastered all over TikTok? TikTok, you disappointed me. This was posted from Uncle Ron's official TikTok page by his wife on September 13th. It is now October 23rd, and it is just now hitting the blogs. And this thing remaining so low-key isn't the only thing that's suspicious. If you go to Uncle Ron's TikTok page, all of his videos are going to say the creator limited comments. This creator is stating that the reason why the comments are turned off is because people were in the comments asking what happened to Uncle Ron, how did he pass away, and the family wanted to avoid the question because they wanted to stay safe. I don't know how Uncle Ron passed away, and I don't even know if whatever they saying is the truth or is going to be the truth. But rest in peace, Uncle Ron. You are going down in the history books. You are a legend. You will be missed. Rest in peace.
Point. Having someone as public and recognizable as Cassie taking the stand, it's going to hit hard. Millennials screw up with her music. She's respected and trusted, and she's ready to speak.